Hello, and welcome back to SleepyScience. Tonight, we turn our attention to one of Earth's most powerful, yet profoundly calming phenomena, the volcano. When we picture volcanoes, we often imagine roaring fire and disruptive ash clouds. But tonight, we will look beneath that fiery surface to find the deep, slow, and ancient rhythm of the Earth itself. We'll explore the quiet, beautiful truths of these gentle giants, revealing facts that are surprisingly peaceful and meditative, designed to cradle your mind and lead you softly toward rest. Allow the immense, comforting stability of the planetary geology to soothe any tension away. The true meaning of dormant. Think for a moment about the words we use to describe volcanoes. The word dormant is particularly beautiful. It comes from the Latin word dormire, which means to sleep. A dormant volcano isn't a ticking time bomb. It is simply a mountain that is asleep. Imagine a colossal, ancient creature resting its vast weight upon the earth for centuries or even millennia. The very idea of something so immense being in a state of deep, undisturbed rest offers a profound sense of peace. Most of the world's volcanoes are, thankfully, in this state, a quiet, geological slumber that reassures us of the Earth's slow, steady pace. The longest known period of dormancy can span tens of thousands of years. Consider the Halakala volcano in Maui, Hawaii, which remained inactive for nearly 200 years or longer. This geological timescale utterly dwarfs the fleeting worries of our daily lives. As you lie here tonight, let the thought of this slow, deep planetary breath anchor your own. The Earth is waiting, patient and perfectly still. The gentle slope of shield volcanoes. Not all volcanoes are the dramatic, steep cones you see in cartoons. Many of the most beautiful and widespread are called shield volcanoes, named for their resemblance to a warrior's shield lying on the ground. These volcanoes, like Mauna Loa and Kilauea in Hawaii, are built up by highly fluid lava flows that travel great distances, creating very gentle, broad, and low slopes. These gentle slopes are symbolic of a very calm, non-explosive style of eruption. The lava simply flows, much like honey, slowly and predictably. There is no urgency, no violence, just a smooth, continuous outpouring of matter. Picture yourself standing on the soft, wide slope of one of these sleeping shields, feeling the immense, curved surface beneath your feet, a surface that has been shaped by a slow, unhurried process of creation. There is an inherent sense of safety and calm in this geological shape, a vast, smooth curve that reminds us of a peaceful horizon. The mineral cradle, olivine. Many Hawaiian shield volcanoes and others around the world produce lava rich in a mineral called olivine. This mineral is particularly special because it is often a soft, light green color, sometimes known as peridot when found in gem quality. When the lava cools, tiny, gentle crystals of this green olivine form, creating sand that is not the typical dark gray or black, but a soft, shimmering olive green. Imagine the gentle sound of waves washing over a beach covered entirely in this calming green sand. This is the Papacolia Beach in Hawaii, a literal cradle of Earth's calmest geological creation. The thought of a volcano creating something so delicate and beautifully colored a gentle, crystalline green is deeply soothing. It dispels the myth of the angry volcano and replaces it with the reality of a patient mineral artisan. As the light begins to dim in your mind, picture that soft, green sand shimmering under the distant, slow light of the moon. This is not fire. This is the peaceful, cool-down phase of the Earth's slow engine. Let the quiet weight of these vast, sleeping mountains press gently upon your own rest. The earth is stable, and so are you. Sleep now, knowing you are held by the largest, slowest forces in the universe. The quiet plumbing of the deep. Let's dive deeper, moving beneath the earth's crust to the heart of the volcano, the magma chamber. This is not a chaotic, churning furnace. Rather, it is a vast, subterranean reservoir, a great, slow-moving pool of molten rock, typically located several miles beneath the surface. The pressure here is immense, but the movement is often incredibly slow and measured. Think of it as a great, underground lake of liquid stone, where the geological processes unfold at a pace too deep and deliberate for human rush. In this chamber, gases are slowly dissolved into the magma under incredible pressure, a process that takes hundreds, sometimes thousands, of years to complete. The silence of this deep reservoir is almost unimaginable. It is the silence of rock, the silence of immense heat, and the silence of time measured in epochs. The fact that this powerful material is contained, held perfectly in place by the weight of the entire mountain above it, offers a profound sense of secure containment and stability. There is no noise, only the heavy, silent weighting of the Earth's inner material. Volcanic islands, foundations of rest. Consider the most calming places on Earth, islands. Many of the most serene and beautiful island chains are, in fact, the peaceful tops of colossal, submerged volcanoes. Islands like Hawaii, the Galapagos, and the Canary Islands are built entirely from the slow, steady accumulation of lava. This process is the ultimate testament to patient, sustained creation. Imagine the island forming drop by drop, flow by flow, over millions of years, slowly rising from the abyssal darkness of the ocean floor to break the surface. The entire foundation of these islands is a volcanic structure, a monument to Earth's quiet power to build and nurture. The very air you breathe on these serene islands, the soft black sand between your toes, the fertile soil that feeds lush vegetation, it all comes from the volcano. When you picture an island resting peacefully on the sea, you are actually picturing a volcano that has finished its most active creation phase and is now offering itself as a sanctuary. It is the ultimate geological gift, a solid, quiet place to rest, surrounded by the rhythm of the ocean, fumaroles, the gentle vents. While we often focus on the dramatic eruption, many volcanoes spend the vast majority of their active life simply breathing. These gentle exhalations come from vents called fumaroles, where steam and volcanic gases, mostly water vapor, are released into the atmosphere. This is the Earth's soft sigh. In places like the geothermal fields of Yellowstone or Iceland, you can witness these fumaroles sending up soft, white plumes of steam that dissipate harmlessly into the sky. It is a slow, continuous release of internal pressure, a form of geological stress relief that is utterly nonviolent. The steam rises like a soft, comforting mist, smelling faintly of sulfur, which is not an unpleasant smell in small doses. It is the subtle scent of deep earth chemistry. Picture a still morning, the air cool, and these soft, white plumes rising silently and steadily against a dark, calming sky. This visual is far from violent. It is the sight of the earth gently regulating itself, finding and maintaining a perfect, continuous equilibrium. There is a deep comfort in witnessing this steady, reliable process of the planet breathing. The thermal comfort of hot springs, a deeply related and wonderfully soothing consequence of volcanic activity, is the formation of hot springs and geothermal baths. As water seeps down into the earth, it is warmed by the deep, residual heat of the magma chamber before rising again to the surface. This is the earth offering a natural, warm bath. The temperature of the water is perfectly regulated by the distance from the heat source and the rate of flow, a gentle, natural thermostat. Think of the peaceful, silent ritual of soaking in a mineral-rich hot spring in a quiet, secluded location, such as the Blue Lagoon in Iceland or remote springs in Japan. The warmth envelops you, a gentle heat transferred through miles of solid rock. This warmth is the echo of the volcano's heart, a benign and welcoming pulse that reaches out to soothe tired muscles and quiet a busy mind. Let the thought of this ancient geothermal warmth spread through your body now, easing you into a state of profound relaxation. Feel the immense, deep foundation of the earth holding you perfectly still. Sleep well, pumice, the featherlight stone. Let us turn our attention to the materials created by volcanoes, specifically a rock called pumice. This material is one of the most wonderfully paradoxical gifts of an eruption. It is essentially volcanic foam lava that has been saturated with gas and then rapidly cooled. As the gases escape, they leave behind tiny, delicate pockets of air, resulting in a stone that is incredibly lightweight, sometimes so light that it can actually float on water. Pumice is the material representation of geological lightness. Imagine a stone so airy, so filled with nothing but captured atmosphere, that it feels almost like a solidified cloud. The thought of this solid, yet feather-light, rock drifting on the surface of the ocean is profoundly peaceful. It reminds us that even intense heat and pressure can result in something delicate, porous, and gentle. This softness in stone is a beautiful contradiction that invites the mind to relax its own rigid expectations. When you picture pumice, imagine its millions of tiny, sealed chambers, each a miniature pocket of ancient air, preserved and silent. Let the thought of this gentle buoyancy settle into your body, letting go of any heaviness or weight you may be carrying. Obsidian, the silent mirror, another beautiful and quiet material born from volcanic activity, is obsidian or volcanic glass. Unlike the foamy texture of pumice, obsidian forms when lava cools so rapidly that the minerals do not have time to crystallize. It becomes a dense, jet-black glass, famously smooth and reflective. Obsidian has a profound visual quality. It is a silent mirror. Its surface can be so dark and reflective that it absorbs light and holds a perfect, deep stillness. Historically, it was used for scrying, a form of divination, where one gazes into the dark, reflective surface to quiet the mind and find insight. The depth and stillness of this natural glass are deeply meditative. Picture a polished piece of obsidian now, sitting perfectly still. It is pure, arrested motion, a fluid rock instantly frozen into glassy silence. Looking into its dark, smooth surface is like gazing into a calm, deep pool where all distraction simply dissolves. Let the perfect, quiet stillness of this volcanic glass settle your gaze and quiet your thoughts. There is nothing to see but the deep, reflective blackness of rest. Submarine volcanoes, building quietly below the most common type of volcano on Earth, is one we rarely see or hear. The submarine volcano, located deep beneath the ocean's surface, particularly along the mid-ocean ridges. These volcanoes are the quietest builders on the planet. When their lava meets the icy cold of the deep ocean water, it instantly solidifies into rounded, pillow-shaped forms called pillow lava. This process is not explosive. It is a slow, methodical accumulation of rock, layer upon layer, creating new ocean floor in a process called seafloor spreading. Imagine the profound silence of the deep ocean, broken only by the slow, gentle hiss of lava meeting water, instantly being molded into smooth, soft, geological shapes. The pressure of the mile-deep water ensures that the process is contained, controlled, and deeply quiet. These submarine volcanoes are responsible for creating 70% of the Earth's crust, yet they do their work in perfect, absolute silence, hidden beneath the comforting blanket of the sea. As you drift toward sleep, let this image of silent, powerful creation in the deep ocean soothe you. The vast majority of Earth's energy is being spent on quiet construction, miles beneath the surface, where no noise or rush can penetrate. The world is being built steadily and calmly, and you are held securely on the surface of this slow, stable structure. Sleep well, knowing the quiet foundations are strong. Volcanic soil, the cradle of life. One of the most beautiful and calming facts about volcanoes is their role as ultimate nurturers. The soil derived from weathered volcanic ash and cooled lava is some of the most fertile soil on Earth. This rich, dark earth, known as andesol, is full of essential minerals like iron, magnesium, and potassium, which are slowly released to feed plant life. Consider the lush, vibrant ecosystems that thrive on the slopes of volcanic mountains, regions famous for their stunning biodiversity and agricultural abundance, such as the vineyards of Italy, the coffee plantations of Indonesia, and the rich farmland of the Pacific Northwest, owe their bounty to the minerals released by ancient eruptions. The volcano, often seen as a destroyer, is in fact a geological fertilizer, a slow-release nutrient source that ensures life can flourish for generations. Picture the deep, dark, crumbly texture of this fertile soil. It is cool and rich to the touch, and it represents the cyclical generosity of the earth. The soil receives the energy of the deep core and uses it to sustain the most gentle forms of life. Let the thought of this deep, nourishing earth settle your body, reminding you of the strength and resilience of life that is supported by these geological foundations. The phenomenon of calderas, water and rest. When a large volcano collapses after a massive eruption, it often leaves behind a huge, basin-shaped depression called a caldera. Over time, these vast bowls frequently fill with water, transforming into some of the most serene and beautiful lakes in the world. Think of Crater Lake in Oregon or Lake Toba in Indonesia, which is so massive it hosts an island within the caldera itself. These lakes are deep, incredibly clear, and perfectly still, mirroring the sky with breathtaking fidelity. The volcano has quieted, leaving behind a vast, natural bowl to collect peace. The stillness of a caldera lake is profound. It is the peace found after an immense release of energy, a geological exhale followed by absolute calm. The surrounding steep walls, the rim of the former volcano, now act as a natural enclosure, sealing the lake off from the noise and rush of the outside world. To gaze upon a caldera lake is to witness the ultimate resting place of a geological giant, a place of pure, undisturbed reflection. Let your mind become as still and clear as the water in a caldera lake, held safe within the ring of the resting mountain. Lava tubes, silent, protected paths. As lava flows from a volcano, the surface cools and hardens while the molten interior continues to flow, eventually draining away to leave behind a hollow tunnel known as a lava tube. These geological structures are incredibly fascinating because they are places of perfect silence and darkness. Inside a lava tube, the temperature is stable, the atmosphere is still, and the outside world is completely muted. These tunnels served as natural shelters for early peoples and now provide protected habitats for specialized cave life. They are hidden arteries of the volcano, now quiet, cool, and perfectly contained. Imagine walking into the silent, smooth-walled darkness of a lava tube, feeling the stable rock above and below you. It is the feeling of being perfectly protected by the vast, cooled structure of the earth itself. It is a corridor of profound peace, a space where sound cannot penetrate, and the only sensation is the cool, gentle weight of the rock above. Let the thought of this silent, sheltered path guide you deeper into your own safe space of rest. The earth has created a perfect sanctuary, and tonight your bed is that sanctuary. Geothermal heat, the gentle, ancient warmth. Let's focus on the deep, enduring warmth associated with volcanoes, the geothermal gradient. This is the steady increase in temperature as you descend into the earth. It's not a sudden, violent heat, but a deep, pervasive warmth that is constantly radiating outward from the planet's core. Volcanic regions simply bring this steady heat closer to the surface. This geothermal warmth is the Earth's perpetual, natural fireplace. It is the source of the hot springs we discussed, and the power that drives non-combustible, clean energy generation in places like Iceland and New Zealand. The feeling of this warmth is one of immense, unhurried stability. It's not a fleeting fire. It is the fundamental, residual heat of the planet's formation, a warmth that has been consistent for billions of years. Imagine this gentle, radiating heat beneath you right now. It is the slow pulse of a molten core, safely insulated by miles of solid rock. There is a deep comfort in knowing that this vast, stable energy source exists, quietly sustaining life and warmth. Let the thought of this ancient, reliable warmth spread from your core outward, easing any coldness or tension in your limbs, grounding you into a state of deep thermal rest. Volcanic rock and magnetic north volcanic rocks, particularly basalt, hold a fascinating and very calming secret about the Earth's history. They contain tiny crystals of iron minerals that, as they cool and solidify, align themselves with the direction of the Earth's magnetic field at that precise moment in time. This phenomenon is called paleomagnetism. These rocks are essentially geological compasses, preserving a perfect record of the magnetic north's direction from the moment the rock cooled. The cooling of the lava, the very formation of the mountain, acts as a profound act of geological preservation, capturing and holding still a fleeting moment of the planet's magnetic alignment. The calming aspect here is the realization that the volcano is a stable, silent historian of the planet's magnetic structure. It gives us a tangible connection to the invisible, stable field that surrounds and protects our planet. Think of the immense, steady magnetic field that guides migrating birds and protects us from solar radiation. The cooled volcanic rock is a testament to this deep, invisible order and alignment. Let the thought of this vast, protective, and organized magnetic field guide your mind toward a sense of secure and aligned rest. The gentle, ongoing growth of seamounts, similar to the deep-sea volcanoes we discussed. Vast numbers of volcanoes are continuously growing beneath the surface, but never quite reach the waterline. These are known as seamounts. They are colossal, isolated mountains rising thousands of feet from the ocean floor. yet remaining entirely submerged. Seamounts represent quiet, perpetual growth in the vast, silent darkness of the ocean. Their creation is a slow, steady process of layered accumulation, entirely unseen and unheard by the surface world. They provide stable platforms for deep-sea ecosystems, supporting unique life forms in their calm, deep environment. They are the unseen pillars of the ocean, massive structures built with quiet geological patience. As you picture the dark, serene expanse of the ocean, imagine these giant, stable mountains silently rising from the floor below, the ultimate symbol of unhurried, powerful foundation. The Earth's work is mostly silent, vast, and constructive. There is nothing to rush and nothing to worry about when your foundation is built by such immense, calm, and slow forces. Drift now, knowing you are supported by the silent, colossal structures beneath the surface of the world. Lahars, the gentle flow of geological mud. The word lahar often sounds alarming, but when we examine the process, we find a powerful, slowly moving phenomenon that is rooted in the natural cycle of ash and water. A lahar is essentially a flow of volcanic mud and debris, a thick, slurry mixture of volcanic ash, rock fragments, and water. The calming truth about lahars is that they often move at a pace that is slow and predictable, far from the steep slopes. While they are a force of nature, their movement on flatter ground is often more akin to a very thick, viscous river, slowly filling valleys and leveling terrain. Think of a colossal, heavy flow of concrete moving across the landscape rather than a sudden torrent. The existence of lahars reminds us that volcanic ash, which is incredibly fine and rich in minerals, eventually must settle. Water, whether from rain or snowmelt, is the patient carrier that facilitates this settling and redistribution. It is the geological mixing bowl, a final step in the eruption cycle where the raw materials are organized and laid down to become fertile soil. Let the image of this slow, heavy flow ground your mind, settling all your racing thoughts into a slow, deliberate movement toward rest. The quiet art of ash sedimentation. Volcanic ash itself, though disruptive in the short term, is one of the most effective geological materials for creating a silent, soft blanket over the landscape. Ash particles are very fine, and when they settle, they create an incredibly smooth, even layer. Imagine a vast area covered by a soft, dark mantle of ash. This material absorbs sound and creates a unique, profound stillness. Think of the silence immediately following a heavy snowfall. Volcanic ash creates a similar effect, dampening the environment and muting distant sounds. This geological snowfall is a quiet reminder that even moments of intense energy ultimately resolve into deep stillness and material softness. As you prepare to sleep, picture your worries settling like fine volcanic ash, slowly, gently, one layer at a time, until they form a smooth, undisturbed surface of perfect quiet. This soft, absorbent material holds the silence perfectly, the mineralogy of cooling, crystals of peace within the slow cooling of magma. Beautiful and precise chemical processes occur. As the temperature drops, various minerals begin to crystallize in a predictable sequence, a process known as Bowen's reaction series. The formation of crystals is the ultimate expression of geological order and patience. It takes immense time, sometimes hundreds or thousands of years, within the earth for atoms to align themselves into the perfect, symmetrical structure of a crystal. Minerals like quartz, feldspar, and mica form in the quiet darkness, each growing with precision and slow deliberation. Picture the silent, hidden world of the cooling magma chamber, where tiny, perfect crystals are slowly and methodically being assembled. There is no haste in this process, only the perfect, inherent geometry of nature unfolding in the deep quiet. Let the thought of this slow, organized creation bring order and calm to your own mind. You are held by a universe of structure, patience, and silent, crystalline beauty. Sleep now, letting the vast, slow patience of the earth guide your rest. Endemic life, the quiet adaptation, volcanic islands, as we've established, are monuments of quiet creation, and their isolation has led to some of the most fascinating and calming examples of evolution on Earth. Because these islands are born from the sea and are often far from continental landmasses, the life that reaches them must adapt to a unique, contained environment. This leads to endemic species plants and animals found nowhere else in the world. Think of the giant tortoises of the Galapagos, whose slow, unhurried pace and immense longevity perfectly reflect the slow, geological timescale of the islands they inhabit. Or consider the unique, isolated flora found on the slopes of Mauna Kea in Hawaii. These life forms are perfectly settled into their environment, having found a unique equilibrium that ensures their peaceful survival. The idea of a species being perfectly in sync with its home, living its slow life on a mountain born of the ocean floor, is deeply soothing. These habitats are the ultimate proof that the energy of the volcano ultimately settles into a steady, supportive environment for life. Let the image of these calm, slow-moving creatures and the quiet, contained ecosystems they inhabit settle your mind. Everything is precisely where it should be, existing in a state of quiet balance. The thermal buffering of basalt, the most common rock produced by volcanoes, is basalt, a dense, fine-grained, dark rock. Basalt forms much of the ocean floor and most shield volcanoes. It possesses a very calming physical property, excellent thermal buffering. Basalt is a very stable and dense material, meaning it heats up slowly and, crucially, cools down slowly. Once the intense heat of the lava is gone, the rock retains a stable temperature, insulating the ground and surrounding environment from rapid temperature changes. This stable, temperate environment is another way the volcano provides a gentle, reliable cradle for life. Imagine walking on a stretch of solidified basalt, feeling the cool, stable ground beneath your feet. It is a material that resists fluctuation, embodying geological patience and endurance. This deep-seated stability is transferred to the environment around it, ensuring that life can flourish without the stress of sudden thermal shocks. Let the thought of this dense, stable rock anchor your sense of security and rest, knowing you are supported by enduring geological material. Volcanic tuff, the softened stone volcanic ash, when compressed and solidified over time, forms a soft rock known as tuff. Unlike hard, dense lava, tuff is relatively easy to cut and shape, making it an incredibly useful building material. Ancient cultures in many volcanic regions, such as those in Italy and Turkey, used tuff to carve elaborate homes, churches, and underground cities. This geological transition from fiery ash to a soft, carvable stone is a powerful symbol of transformation and gentleness. The volcano provides the raw material, and time and pressure soften it into a form that is welcoming and useful for shelter. Think of the soft, curved walls of homes carved directly into the tough cliffs, providing natural insulation and a sense of being held by the earth. The silence inside a structure carved from tuff is absolute. The porous rock dampens all outside sound, creating a perfect sanctuary of peace and quiet. Picture yourself inside one of these ancient, smooth-walled dwellings, feeling the gentle, cool stone all around you. This is the ultimate security provided by the quiet, transformed power of the volcano. Sink now into this deep, quiet shelter and let the softness of the earth embrace your rest. Phreatic eruptions, the water's gentle release. We often categorize volcanic activity by explosions, but some of the most common and often least violent forms of eruption are known as phreatic eruptions. These occur when rising magma or hot volcanic gases heat groundwater, causing it to flash to steam. This steam then builds pressure until it vents through the rock. The crucial calming fact about these events is that they involve no new magma reaching the surface. They are essentially steam eruptions, the earth releasing built-up water pressure in a focused, powerful, but fundamentally non-magmatic way. Think of it like a giant natural pressure cooker releasing its safety valve. The result is often a sudden, quiet puff of steam and old rock fragments, followed by a quick return to calm. This process is a constant, gentle reminder of the Earth's hydraulic cycle interacting with its geothermal heat. It is a system designed for continuous, non-violent regulation of internal pressure. Let the thought of this gentle, hissing steam release any internal pressure or stress you may be holding onto. The Earth is calmly venting its excess energy, and you can too, through the deep, slow exhale of sleep. Hawaiian-type eruptions, the flow of tranquility. Not all lava is thick and explosive. The eruptions most associated with the Hawaiian volcanoes, known as Hawaiian-type eruptions, are the epitome of geological tranquility. They involve basaltic lava that is highly fluid and low in gas content, allowing it to flow like a slow-moving, red-hot river. There is a profound sense of unhurried movement in these flows. The lava creeps across the landscape, often at the speed of a slow walk or much slower, giving the environment ample time to adjust. The flow is predictable, consistent, and beautiful to observe. It is the perfect visual representation of flow state motion without anxiety, progress without rush. Imagine watching this gentle flow at a safe distance. The sight is less of violence and more of a slow, molten stream following the contours of the land, cooling into smooth, dark glass as it moves. This movement is a meditation on time and patience. Let the image of this smooth, slow, and fluid process wash over your thoughts, smoothing out any rough edges and guiding your mind into a relaxed, flowing state. There is no hurry. The process of rest is a gentle, unhurried flow. Hot, dry rock, harnessing gentle heat beyond hot springs. The quiet, persistent heat near dormant volcanoes is being used to create a sustainable energy source called hot, dry rock, HDR, geothermal energy. This process involves drilling deep wells into hot, impermeable rock and circulating water through it to capture the heat. The beauty of this system lies in its simplicity and stability. It relies purely on the Earth's natural, existing heat gradient, harnessing the planet's internal warmth without any combustion, external fueling, or dramatic geological events. It is the quietest form of power generation, simply capturing the slow, radiating heat of a sleeping giant. This technology is a testament to the fact that the most profound power of the volcano is not its explosion, but its steady, persistent, gentle heat. As you rest, know that beneath you, the Earth is consistently providing a stable, calm source of energy and warmth. You are safe, warm, and held by a fundamentally stable and quietly powerful planet. Sleep deeply now, embraced by the Earth's enduring warmth. Extinct volcanoes, the ultimate rest. Let us contemplate the most peaceful category of all, extinct volcanoes. These are volcanoes that scientists believe are highly unlikely to erupt again, either because their magma supply has been completely depleted or the tectonic plate movement has carried them away from their heat source. They represent the final stage of geological peace. An extinct volcano is a mountain that has completed its life cycle. It is a monument to stability, its structure fully cooled, solidified, and often heavily eroded by time and weather. These mountains now stand as colossal, silent witnesses to eons of history. Mount Waddington in Canada or parts of the Scottish Highlands are examples of ancient volcanic structures that now simply form robust, stable mountains. The sheer permanence of these mountains is profoundly calming. They are no longer dynamic or active. They are simply masses of dense, cooled rock that anchor the landscape. Think of the deep, undisturbed rest achieved by something that has completed its grand purpose and is now simply existing in perfect stability. Let the immense, finalized stillness of the extinct volcano settle into your bones, anchoring you in a state of deep, permanent rest. Weathering and erosion, the gentle sculptors. The process by which volcanic rock is broken down is also surprisingly gentle and slow. Weathering and erosion are the Earth's soft sculptors, working over thousands of years to smooth the jagged edges of lava fields and volcanic cones. Water, wind, and time slowly wear away the hard basalt and ash, transforming them into the fertile soil we discussed earlier. This is a process of refinement, where the rough power of the eruption is slowly, meticulously softened by the forces of nature. The sharp peaks are smoothed into gentle curves, and the harsh rock is crumbled into rich earth. Imagine this slow, patient process, a single drop of water over 1,000 years, working to smooth a sharp rock edge. This unhurried, persistent action is a beautiful metaphor for letting go of tension. You don't need a sudden break. You need a slow, persistent softening. Feel the tension in your shoulders being slowly weathered away, softened, and released by the gentle, persistent march of time. Volcanic lakes, the quiet aftermath. Beyond the large caldera lakes, smaller volcanic cones often develop crater lakes after their activity ceases. These lakes are typically small, circular, and incredibly deep, sitting like perfect, still pools high on the mountain slopes. The small size and high elevation of these lakes often mean they are exceptionally clear and pristine. They capture the sky and the surrounding quiet landscape in a perfect, undisturbed reflection. They are pockets of absolute stillness, held safe within the ring of the crater walls. To picture one of these serene lakes is to see stillness defined. It is the absolute absence of motion, noise, or agitation. Let the image of this deep, clear, still water reflect the quiet state of your own mind. You are in a safe, secluded place, perfectly held by the cool, stable arms of the mountain. Drift now into the deep quiet, where the Earth's oldest mountains are finally at rest, and so are you. Volcanic dikes, the internal framework when magma forces its way up through existing layers of rock but cools before reaching the surface. It solidifies into large, sheet-like formations called dikes or sills. These structures are often harder than the surrounding rock, and as the softer rock erodes away over millennia, the dike stands exposed as a long wall-like ridge. These dikes are the internal framework of the volcano, the hardened arteries that once carried the flowing magma. Now exposed, they stand as thin, enduring walls that demonstrate the immense internal strength and structure of a volcanic system. They represent rock that was injected under great pressure, but has since cooled into a state of unwavering stability, resisting the vast forces of erosion. Imagine these long, straight walls of dark, dense rock cutting across the landscape, a clear, unbroken line of geological endurance. They are silent proof that even material that was once molten and dynamic can become the most enduring and stable structure on the surface. Let the thought of this hidden, enduring strength support your rest, knowing that your own foundations are strengthened by the patience and resilience of the earth. The gentle chemistry of geothermal clay, associated with many geothermal and volcanic areas, is the presence of naturally occurring mineral-rich clays. These clays are formed when volcanic ash and rock are altered by superheated, acidic water over long periods. These clays are famous for their soothing and restorative properties. Used in thermal spa treatments and traditional remedies for centuries, they hold the heat of the earth and are dense, cool, and incredibly fine to the touch. The sensation of cool, smooth clay is one of pure, natural tranquility, a gentle balm created through a slow geological process. Picture scooping up a handful of this soft, damp, earthy material, the feeling of the cool, pure earth settling in your palm. This clay is the ultimate product of the volcano's gentle side, a material that takes the heat and chemistry of the deep earth and refines it into something profoundly calming and restorative. Let the thought of this cool, soothing material draw any heat or restlessness out of your body, leaving you feeling balanced, cool, and deeply settled. Tectonic plates, the slow drift of stability. Volcanoes are often situated along the boundaries of tectonic plates, the vast, rigid pieces of the Earth's lithosphere. The movement of these plates, while responsible for geological events, is incredibly slow and continuous, often moving no faster than the growth rate of a human fingernail. This slow, predictable movement is the ultimate expression of unhurried planetary motion. It is a continuous, deep-time drift that drives the entire geological cycle, building mountains, separating continents, and creating the environment for volcanoes to exist. The stability of the planet is not in its stillness, but in the slowness and predictability of its colossal internal rhythm. Imagine the continents slowly, silently floating on the mantle over millions of years, a massive, unhurried voyage. This vast, slow rhythm ensures that the system, though active, remains fundamentally stable. Let the thought of this immense, slow, and continuous drift quiet your sense of urgency. Everything is moving at its own perfect pace, and your task now is simply to surrender to the deep, unhurried time of the earth. Sink into the quiet stability of a planet that never rushes. Sleep now, harmonic tremor, the earth's deep hum tonight. Let us end our journey into the quiet facts of volcanoes with one of the most mysterious and calming phenomena associated with their deep activity, the harmonic tremor. This is a continuous, low-frequency seismic signal that can sometimes be detected near active volcanoes. The sound is not a sharp, sudden earthquake. Instead, it is a deep, continuous, monotonous hum, a subtle, constant vibration in the Earth's crust caused by the movement of magma or pressurized fluids deep beneath the surface. It is the Earth's bass note, a vibrational sound too low for humans to often hear without sensitive instruments, but powerful enough to resonate through the vast body of the planet. Imagine the sound of a colossal, deep cello string being drawn slowly and continuously, a vibration that speaks of the planet's vast internal processes running smoothly and consistently. This deep, steady hum is a sound of perfect, constant rhythm and flow, assuring us that the Earth is operating under its own slow, immense, and unhurried pulse. Let the thought of this deep, steady planetary rhythm act as a calming drone, sinking your own heartbeat and breath into a slow, relaxed, and deeply peaceful frequency. The gentle cycle of daygong, even dormant or seemingly extinct volcanoes, are often engaged in a continuous, gentle process of degassing. This involves the slow, controlled release of gases, primarily water vapor and carbon dioxide, from the rock and magma deep below the surface. This is a subtle, constant process that lasts for centuries. This slow, constant leakage is the volcano's way of naturally maintaining equilibrium. It is a gentle form of self-regulation, ensuring that pressure never builds up to dangerous levels. It's the Earth gently sighing, a process so subtle and constant that it is the very definition of uninterrupted, smooth operation. Picture this constant, gentle exhalation, a slow, millennia-long process of the Earth tending to its own internal state, achieving and maintaining a perfect, continuous balance. There is no rush, no sudden action, only slow, steady management of energy. Final thought: the great weight of rest. We have explored the giant, sleeping mass of the shield volcano, the silence of the magma chamber, the light touch of pumice, and the stability of the basalt column. The lesson of the volcano is one of immense power resolved into profound stability and creation. The fiery core of the Earth is contained by rock that is deep, quiet, and strong. The ultimate purpose of all that power is to build the land, nurture the soil, and provide the deep, reliable warmth that sustains life. Tonight, you are held by this profound stability. You are resting on the cool, hardened foundation of this ancient, powerful planet. You have listened to the slow, calming facts of the quiet giant beneath your feet. Let the great, comforting weight of the Earth press gently upon you, smoothing out every last wrinkle of tension and concern. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to rush toward. There is only the deep, endless time of the cooling rocks and the immense, silent peace of the dormant planet. Sink now into your final rest, knowing that the planet is strong, slow, and perfectly at peace. Good night. Sleep soundly.